Good afternoon everyone, it's Ben from BIT Solutions. On my next video blog of using security software while working from home. There's the four softwares I'm going to show you today are CC Cleaner, Malware Bytes, ESET and Super Anti-Spyware. The first one I'm going to knock off with is Malware Bytes. Malware Bytes is a free and paid for software. The difference between the free version and the paid version is, if I show you here, all this gets turned off on the free version, so you can manually scan but you won't get automatic protection like web protection, malware protection, ransom protection and exploit protection, which you do get on the paid version. But if we click on scan, you still get the full scanning facilities, which remove the virus from your machine and the malware with the manual scanner, but you have to remove the viruses yourself. So it's still a useful tool as a free version, because you can get rid of the infections you have in the machine and keep it clean against malware and spyware. So if I minimise that for a moment, so I let that scan and then we'll come back to that in a minute once the scan is completed. So at the moment, because my computer's quite quick, we might not have to come back to it because it's actually nearly done. And because I keep my computer regularly cleaned, it's not going to find many infections, but if it did find any infections, then it will appear in the detections part down the bottom there. So if I minimise that for now, and if we come to the next software I'm going to show you, which is CC Cleaner. CC Cleaner is a very useful tool because it actually cleans all your temporary files and infections and rubbish what builds over a period of time. So we're going to click on next, and we're going to check the machine's health to see how well it's running. And you can see here it says improve security, maintains your privacy and gets you more disk space. It actually cleans a load of rubbish off and makes your machine a bit more free disk space if you've got a small hard drive, etc. So I'm going to click on get started. Now it's going to check the machine to see what rubbish is on there and remove which rubbish you don't actually need. So here we go. So first of all it's going to check the PC's health. And it goes to the end there, and then come up with a report in a minute to tell me that it's found 169 trackers, 14 meg of junk files. They've got nothing making the speed go slow because and these two items here, 3 app updates required. These two here you get if you buy the premium version. But the two important things here you get with the free version anyway, like removing trackers and freeing up some space. So once you've done the scan, click on make it better, and then it cleans up the stuff that is making your machine run slow. So then it's giving me a report now with a little smiley face saying that it's got rid of the trackers and freed up some space. It looks like Malware Bytes has completed its scan. So we'll minimise CC Cleaner for a minute. Go back to Malware Bytes, and like I thought, because I run my machine and keep it clean quite regularly, it's come up with no infections, no malware, no spyware. But if there was, there will appear in here. I'll click on done, and then they would appear in the quarantine folder, and then in the quarantine folder you can just remove the stuff you don't want. What I mostly do with most customers is remove the stuff out of the quarantine folder anyway, because you don't want to keep it on there because it just builds up more rubbish. So I normally put a tick next door to all the quarantine item and then permanently delete them. But it gives you the option to check if they're actually a virus or not, because sometimes there might be a program that the program is actually identified as a virus, but it's not a virus, so you can take that out of quarantine and put it into the allowed list, and then Malware Bytes won't check it again next time. So if we close Malwarebytes now and move back to CC Cleaner, there's another scan you can do in CC Cleaner as well, what's called a custom clean. If we click on Run Cleaner, click Continue, this will do a similar thing to the health check, and it tells me that because I've done the health check before, there's not many temporary files left to remove. Below that is the registry cleaner. So if I found any viruses in Malwarebytes and I removed them, then in the registry cleaner I can clean the remnants of the virus. So if I click on Scan for Issues, it will tell me what unused extensions or remnants of programs I've got which I can remove, and all these stuff here are old programs, old extensions what are not used anymore, but they just take up space. It's just worth just checking through and make sure that they are what you want to get rid of. So I'm gonna check through that quickly, but they're all stuff that I don't need. They're just taking up space on my computer. So I'll click on Fix Selected Items. Don't want to, if it's something like a program extension what's going to really muck up your computer, I'll say yes, I want to back up the registry. But because I know that those stuff in there are not, I'm going to click No, and then click Fix Selected Issues, and there you go, they're gone. So that's just a quick introduction to CC Cleaner. So I'll close that now. The next program I'm going to go to is the Premier Antivirus software I sell, which is ESET Endpoint Security. So I'll double click on that. This is telling me my license date when it comes up for renewal and when the modules are up to date. We click on the Tools menu. It tells me the log files of what's been logged, the running processes in ESET, the scheduler when it's scheduled to do another check, and you can also submit an item to be analysed. If we click on Quarantine, there's a few little items in here that ESET have found and automatically quarantine. That's one thing I like about ESET, and that's why I recommend it to my clients. It actually quarantines all the viruses that come onto my computer, so, and without me having to worry about it too much, because it does it automatically. But because they've been on there, some of them, for quite a long time, I'm going to remove most of those off of there. So I'm going to hold down the Control key and remove them off my machine, because they're just taking up space. They're no longer needed. They're old devices that are just sitting in quarantine and they're not needed anymore, so I'm just going to remove them all to free up some space on my computer. Yeah. The only problem about doing this, you have to do it manually, one per virus, to remove them out of the quarantine. That's the only downfall about it, but apart from that, it's an excellent program. It gets rid of all the viruses, and then we click on Move. Then we right click on that lot and click Delete from Quarantine. Click Yes, and they're gone. If we go up to the top part of the program which says Protection Status and Computer Scan, you have options to scan your computer, create custom scans, so you can scan different devices and different drives, and you can do removable media, and you can do a repeat scan at the same time. If we scroll down to Setup, we go to Network. It tells you that I've got the firewall enabled. It's got a network attack protection, so if someone tries to get onto my network, it will stop it from coming in. It's got a botnet protection, just let them horrible botnet, the things trying to clone my IP address and that kind of thing. And so it's got some good useful tools in there. In the computer, it's got the real-time protection turned on, host intrusion protection, advanced memory scanner, exploit blocker, ransomware shield, what's really good because that stops all the ransomware coming into the computer. And we go to web and email. It's web access protection, email client protection, anti-spam protection. So I get this automatically puts all my spam emails into a spam folder, which is really good and useful. Anti-phishing protection, so it's very useful for to get them annoying emails trying to sell you things and that kind of thing. It protects against those as well. So that's why I always recommend this sector. It's very good at these two things here, anti-spam and anti-phishing. So no, definitely if you're using Outlook or any other sort of third-party web program, then it totally protects against it and keeps your machine protected against those infections. So the last program I'm going to show you today is Super Anti-Spyware. It's similar to Malwarebytes, but does it slightly different. It's another useful free tool. So I click on scan this computer. We'll do a quick scan for now because we don't want it to take too long, but it's like a double checker really. So if Malwarebytes doesn't quite pick it up, Super Anti-Spyware can pick up the remnants and that kind of thing. So it's a useful free tool, and I would recommend at this time of working from home and with self-isolation, I think it's good to have both programs because then it really helps keep you protected against the hackers and infections. So I hope you found this video quite useful today because I just wanted to go through how to stay protected online. We do sell the ESET antivirus software and we can install that remotely onto your computers and offer you that service, so it keeps you totally up to date and totally protected. So please give me a call about that or contact me through social media or through our telephone numbers and we can help you with that and keep you protected. And that's about it really. I'm just quickly showing Super Anti-Spyware. It's not quick at scanning, it's already done the registry objects and it's going for the memory scan and the file scans at the moment. So yeah, so at the end of that will show that the computer's what infections it's got or what it hasn't got. I'll know for sure because the way I look after my computers and have the best protection, there won't be much on there to look at. So we'll click on stop scan for now because then I'll show you what it shows at the end. So it shows you a result. If it finds anything, it will put it into the system tools, into quarantine, and then same as Malwarebytes, you can remove it out of the quarantine as well. So that is it really. I'll leave all the links at the end of the video so you can get hold of me, and if you want to try out ESET, please let me know. That's Ben from BI Solutions signing out for now.